Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to a very special episode of CritiCarter, the show where I turn you into a cinephile. As you all know, it's award season, and we just got the big awards of the year announced this week. The Academy Awards. That's right, a bunch of great professionals in the industry vote on what movies they think are the best. In all sorts of categories, from acting to directing to cinematography and editing and things like that. We got some problems this year. Okay? Now, you guys probably don't know because most of you didn't really know about me before, the agent Sabrina said, oh, hey, you should do this video channel instead. But back when I was just a, lonely old normal blogger and only 12 people read my reviews every week, there's a local NPR affiliate that every year I would go on and we'd talk about the Oscar nominees. And because I have that as a prior engagement, I can only go so far in depth about how I feel about the Oscars on the channel. We're just going to do it real quick, bang, zoom, and then it'll be gone. And as soon as I know when the radio show is airing, I will let you guys know, through all the various social networks that I am part of. So if you're not following me or subscribed or whatever, do that now, yesterday, tomorrow. Tell your friends, okay? First of all, number one, start with the big boys. Best Picture. Used to be, we got 5 of them. Last year we had 10. And now they're like, okay, you know what? 5's not enough. 10 might be too many. So we're going to have a sliding scale. We can have 5, we can have 10, we can have somewhere in between. This year we got 9. Honestly, that bugs me. If you're gonna put 9 out there, just pick a 10th, okay? Especially when 2 of your 9 are Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close and The Tree of Life. I did a written review for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. You guys can go to CritiCarter.com, read all about that. Pause the video, come back later, all that good stuff. You good? Okay. Having said all the things that I said about that movie, it's not something for Best Picture. It's not something that's like, yes, 50 years from now, this is still gonna be a great movie. Okay, yeah, I'll give it a little credit. It's a great movie about loss and futility and frustration, those kinds of things. Not Best Picture worthy, if you ask me. Also, Tree of Life, way overblown, overhyped, pretentious bullshit. And that's not a word I throw around lightly. Best Actor. Usual crowd this year, for the second year in a row, Ryan Gosling gets overlooked. What are you up to, Academy? What did Ryan Gosling ever do to you? Did he steal your girlfriend? Is that it? That's no reason to go after him. No reason to take it out on him for his great roles that he's done. He was in 3 movies this year. One of those couldn't have gotten him an Academy Award nomination? Really? No. Second year in a row? No. Gosling? Forget about him. Instead, we got this dark horse candidate from a movie no one really saw. What's up with that? However, I will give you some credit. He nominated Gary Oldman for Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which, as anyone who's watching this channel knows, I didn't love it. However, he's probably the best actor who's never had an Academy Award nomination. You want to give it to him this year because of that fact? Go ahead. I'm cool. Let's move on. Best Actress. Again, no surprises. Big props to Miss Rooney Mara for her version of Elizabeth Salander in Girl with Dragon Tattoo. The original Girl with Dragon Tattoo, Noomi Rapace, was not so lucky as to get that nomination. I suppose that's the good fortune when you work with a director like David Fincher. Best Supporting Actor. Again, no real surprises. Max von Sydow for Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. So does that mean that I can write yes and no on my hands and raise and lower them at appropriate moments and not speak at all? And you'll give me an Oscar nomination too? Because I'm cool with that. Jonah Hill for Moneyball. I don't know. Can someone please explain to me why everybody loves Moneyball and Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt in Moneyball on top of that? Nick Nolte. I'll back this one up. Warrior. Fantastic movie. I wish I had reviewed it when it first came out so I could have done it for the channel. Instead, I saw Contagion. Warrior's great. Nick Nolte's great. It's great to see him in a role like this that he does so well in, compared to something like Hulk. Excuse me, I still have a bad taste in my mouth from 9 years ago when that film came out. Ang Lee, please, no more superheroes. It's funny, however, that you have that crowd nominated, and you overlooked Mr. Andy Serkis, who I think gave a tremendous performance as Caesar in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. You know, he gets overlooked. People are like, oh no, motion capture, that's not real acting. No, it is. Come on, let's give this guy, if you don't want to give him a regular Oscar, give him something. That role in that movie expressed more emotion than some real, actual human actors in movies. Keanu, for example, most of Keanu does, nothing. If you can make a guy play a chimpanzee and have him show more emotion than some of the human actors do, that means something, okay? A lot of people made an argument after the Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. Alan Rickman as Snape. Tremendous performance. I mean, who doesn't think Alan Rickman is one of the great actors of our time? I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody who might still have not seen the movie, but please, 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 it's Harry Potter. Just give in already. The whole franchise is over, so if you want, you can just start in the beginning, watch all the movies right in a row. Don't have to wait like everybody else did. Rickman does a great job. It was a crowded field this year, so there were a lot of great performances that got overlooked. What are you going to do? Best Supporting Actress. Bernice Bejo from The Artist. Okay. Jessica Chastain. Okay. Wait, Jessica Chastain for The Help? She was in 5 movies this year and you nominate her for The Help? Come on. Oh, and Melissa McCarthy's in there. Good. You know what? I'll give you a nice little golf clap. Good for you, Melissa McCarthy. It's hard to get some Academy recognition when you're in a comedy. You pulled it off. Even when you're sitting in a sink with the contents of your last meal coming out of you. Yeah. So I just think it's amazing that you have all these incredible performances this year. And there's a movie that I think deserves, it could be nominated in any of those categories. The Debt. Helen Mirren, Karen Hines, Tom Wilkinson, Jessica Chastain. That's what you know what? Between that and Take Shelter, those are what Jessica Chastain should have been nominated for, not The Help. Who wants to see her playing, young skinny Paula Deen? Oh, the animated nominees this year. I understand it wasn't a great year for animated films. Somehow, because of that, we have 2 foreign entries this time around. Last year, we just had The Illusionist, French film. One thing. And the other 4, I think it was 4, were American. This year, we got Kung Fu Panda 2, we got Puss in Boots, we got Rango, which I will sing the praises of until the last days on Earth, and then we got a Spanish film called Chico and Rita, which is, first of all, don't let the kids see this one. Very adult. I wrote this review up a couple weeks ago too. Awful, awful animation. If you want to close your eyes for an hour and a half and listen to nice jazz music and listen to people talk in Spanish, it's a great movie. Otherwise, yeah. And then we got an hour-long film called Vie de Chat, and I know this is not the proper translation, but the English title is A Cat in Paris. When did an hour long become long enough to be considered a feature film? Best Directing, once again, not a lot of surprises in terms of who was nominated, except for maybe Terrence Malick for Tree of Life. If you ask me, when you got a film that the actors come out and say, I don't know what was going on, to me that means the director wasn't doing his job. Why George Clooney wasn't nominated for The Ides of March, or David Fincher, maybe, for Girl with Dragon Tattoo. I mean, is David Fincher ever going to get the Oscar he should have been given 5 movies ago? Best Original Score. All that nice little music that plays in the background that normally people don't notice. Where was Girl with Dragon Tattoo for that, huh? You got Atticus Ross and... not Atticus Finch, that he's the To Kill a Mockingbird guy. Atticus Ross and Trent Reznor, once again teaming up with David Fincher, just like they did for their Oscar-winning soundtrack for The Social Network last year, but this time, nothing. They get nothing. It's disgusting. That's what it is. Best Original Song, only two nominees this year. You got a song from Rio, and you got Man or Muppet from The Muppets. If you haven't seen that, see it on YouTube somewhere. You can find that section of the movie. Watch that. Don't even watch it. Just put it on, close your eyes. Focus on the song itself. If The Muppets doesn't win this category, by God, there will be hell to pay. I have very strong feelings about The Muppets, obviously. Best Original Screenplay. A couple that you'd expect to see, and then you've got Bridesmaids. Once again, yay for comedies. Margin Call, which, as far as I can tell, got glossed over by all the other awards ceremonies, much like Tree of Life, which I mentioned before. Just to clear up for a second, I'm not 100% against Tree of Life. You want to give it cinematography? Go ahead. It doesn't belong in Best Picture, doesn't belong in Best Directing. But you want to say, oh, it was a pretty movie? Go ahead. I can live with that. And a separation, back to original screenplay. You don't really think about foreign films being able to be nominated in the same categories, aside from, of course, Best Foreign Language Film, until you actually see it happen. Which I guess that's a good thing, though, that they get nominated, because, it really enforces the fact that America is the big melting pot that it makes itself out to be. And now we come to the close, where we discuss the films that got no love from the Academy this year. Number 1, J. Edgar. A lot of people gave it heat. I'll defend this. I'll defend Leo, and I'll defend Armie Hammer, who personally I think deserves an Oscar because A, he got nothing last year for playing 2 different people, and B, he's got to play a stroke victim in this one. That's a challenge. Just for somebody his age, who just got into the movie industry and is playing a role like that, give him a little credit. Give him something, Give him a mini Oscar if you have to. Give him something. Armie deserves some award he can put on his shelf. Young adult, great movie. You got Jason Reitman and Diablo Cody back together again. Charlize Theron, Patton Oswalt give 2 amazing, astounding, incredible performances. Patton Oswalt, by the way, great dramatic actor. Track down the movie Big Fan that he did a couple years ago. Watch that, watch Young Adult. You'll forget that he can be funny, and you'll say, wow, this guy's really underutilized as a dramatic actor. Drive. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Ryan Gosling. This was supposed to be his year. He was in 3 movies. One of them, Drive. Should be up for Best Score, should be up for Best Picture, should be up for Best Actor. I think it's got some weird sound editing or something like that, but it needs to be up for the big things. Come on. Not to mention Albert Brooks. Albert Brooks not getting a Best Supporting Actor nomination? Crime against humanity. Here's this guy who, once again, much like Mr. Patton Oswalt, spends his career establishing himself as this character. He goes against type, does it brilliantly, and nobody cares. Nobody gives a damn about Albert Brooks come Oscar time. He's nominated for everything else, but not an Oscar. Why is that? Oh, I see. Max von Sydow, Mr. Yes No, you think he should get the Oscar instead? Take Shelter. I mentioned it briefly earlier. Michael Shannon, Jessica Chastain. That could easily be up for Best Director, Best Picture, Actor, Actress. You saw that where? Nowhere. And of course, Shame. As I'm recording this, have not seen it yet. However, I would like to come out and say, Academy, do not be afraid of a movie just because a guy takes his pants off. By all accounts, this is a really, really good movie. Don't be afraid just because it says NC-17 on the trailer page. Look at Michael Fassbender playing a man who is overcome with this disease where what should be a wonderful, enjoyable thing, it takes over his life to the point where he's suffering because of that. They made the announcements on the 24th. This is now the 28th. The Oscars will be on Sunday the 26th of February. Tune in. I'll be live tweeting. Sunday night are actually the SAG Awards, so hopefully those will inform the Oscar picks a little bit more, because I'm a little unsure about some of the categories so far. So I'll be live tweeting the SAG Awards on Sunday. Of course, when the Oscars roll around, I'll live tweet those. And I'll be seeing movies here, there, and everywhere, like I do. It's in my blood, it's who I am, I can't help myself, I am an addict, much like Mr. Fassbender in Shame, although I would say that my addiction is probably a bit more healthy, but just a bit. I hope the change of wardrobe was seen as appropriate by you all. I thought, this is a special occasion, so we should treat that with a little bit more respect, a little bit more dignity. Look a little nice. And so when the Oscars come around, we can maybe do a little after the fact, a little response video.